Ian Robilliard is my name. I'm the Managing Director of the Academy of Sport. Home is at Terrigal. Why? It's just one of the most unique places in the world to live, I think. Having been around a lot of places, Terrigal is just spot on. I guess because of access to the beaches, the cafe village feel of the place. It's small, but it's a very welcoming, very friendly place. Yeah, well, left school, went to college. That's where I met my wife. We got married in Newcastle. She was from the Central Coast, so we relocated back to Terrigal. At that time I was working with the PGA of Australia. I was the 2IC of that organisation, and I worked with the PGA for 11 years in Sydney while still living on the Central Coast, and part of my role there, I with the CEO did a deal to move the organisation to Melbourne, but I wasn't leaving Terrigal, so the organisation went to Melbourne, and that was really the catalyst to start the Academy of Sport, which has been going since 2004, so an organisation that really I've built from scratch and I'm deeply proud of. And in the past 2 years, while still working at the Academy, I took on the role as the head coach of the Sydney Kings, and more recently I've been asked to be the CEO of the Sydney Kings. So a fairly diverse background, but the common denominator of sport. Why the Academy came about was very simple. It was like most mums and dads that coach on a weekend, I was doing that. I had a lot of involvement with basketball. I was coaching my own son, and the end of season barbecue was actually here at this very house, just outside on the deck, and one of the dads said to me, you know, we've got a lot of talent in this group, what do they do? And I said, oh, it's fairly obvious we need an Academy of Sport. And Mark Holton was the dad that I was talking to, was also the chairman of the Academy, and he said, well, you're in sport, why don't you do something about it? And really that was the catalyst. That was in October 2003. So I registered the name. I set it up as a not-for-profit business because it had to be community driven. And I often say now that it's one of the most treasured community assets that the Central Coast has. And the fact that it started here, it's had great support, and it is strongly linked into the community, really gives it a lot of importance in terms of its role on the Central Coast. Community spirit is essential, I think. One of the things that the Academy does, we're not from Gosford or we're not from Wyong, we're from the Central Coast. We represent this region, and the people that are given the opportunity to participate in the Academy are therefore Central Coast athletes. And when we take teams or squads away, we've recently come back from the Academy Games, there's a deep sense of pride when they wear our jerseys or our singlets and they wear our logo, and it's all about the Central Coast, because they are an advocate for the region, and the parents that go and watch their children too, the same type of thing. The companies that sponsor our business do so because of the regional identity and the community reach that we can provide. So from our perspective, it's essential. We shouldn't shy away from development. We shouldn't shy away from opportunity. We should embrace those opportunities because that provides additional benefits for the children and for the future of this region. Things like the Gosford landing, things like the Adelaide, that get a lot of criticism and these types of things. I think you've got to look beyond that and look at how can these things help what we're doing, and if we don't look to the opportunities that present themselves, I think that's a danger that the Central Coast should avoid.